everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Family Wealth and Other Musings. I'm your host, Becky Easton, and today we are talking about 4 essential strategies for protecting your family assets. Because you might think that only the super wealthy need to worry about asset protection planning, but the truth is that even if you don't have millions, you might be at greater risk. For instance, if you're a multimillionaire, a $50,000 judgment against you might not be that big of a deal. But for a family with modest income, savings, and a home, it could be devastating. And furthermore, asset protection planning isn't something you can put off until something happens. Once you're under the threat of a lawsuit, it's likely too late to protect your assets. And like all types of planning, to be effective, you must have your asset protection strategies in place well before something happens. And your asset protection plan isn't a one-and-done deal. It must be regularly updated to accommodate changes to your assets, family dynamics, and the law. While you should meet with a qualified attorney to determine the asset protection strategies that are best suited for your particular asset profile and family situation, here are 4 essential strategies to consider for safeguarding your family's most valuable assets. And keep in mind that this is just general information to be used for your education. This isn't advice specifically for you. So don't take any of this as specific legal, tax, finance, or otherwise advice specifically for you, because I just don't know your situation. If you'd like to find a personal family lawyer near you, you can go to personalfamilylawyer.com and work with an excellent attorney who will be able to help you prepare and keep your family out of court and out of conflict. So the first strategy you want to think about is investing in insurance. Insurance is always the first line of defense when it comes to asset protection. Anyone can file a lawsuit against you at any time, and basically for any reason. And whether you're ultimately found at fault or not, defending yourself in court can be extremely costly. The insurance coverage you purchase should not only pay damages if a lawsuit against you is successful, the policy should also cover the cost of hiring a lawyer to defend you in court, whether you win or lose your case. And because a large judgment could exceed your policy's coverage limits, you should also seriously consider buying umbrella insurance. Should your underlying insurance policy max out, an umbrella policy will help cover any remaining damages and legal expenses. A personal family lawyer can help you evaluate your current insurance policies and advise you about the types and amounts of insurance you should have for maximum protection of your assets. The second strategy is to take advantage of statutory exemptions. By taking full advantage of federal and state laws that make certain types of assets exempt from creditor claims and judgments, because depending on the state, the availability and amount of protection offered by these exemptions can vary. So, for example, many states offer a homestead exemption, which protects a certain amount or even the full value of the equity you have in your primary residence from creditors. If your state provides a generous homestead exemption, paying down your mortgage could protect funds that would otherwise be vulnerable. Similarly, federal and state laws also classify many retirement plans, such as 401ks and IRAs, as exempt assets. Additionally, some states will offer significant or complete exemptions for life insurance policies and annuities as well. And even though such exemptions won't offer you total protection, they can provide significant shelter for certain assets. And plus, using statutory exemptions is something that can be accomplished without investing anything. All that's required is for you to understand how to best structure your investments to take advantage of these protections. Meet with a qualified attorney to learn what types and the amounts of exemptions that are available in your area, because again, these are going to vary by state. And you want to be sure you know how to take best advantage of each one. Third, you want to use the right business entity. Owning a business can be a major wealth-generating asset for your family, but it can also be a serious liability. In fact, without the proper protection, your personal assets are at serious risk if your company ever runs into trouble. For example, if your business is currently a sole proprietorship or a general partnership, you are personally liable for any debts or lawsuits incurred by your business. However, structuring your business as a limited liability company or a corporation is typically the best move for small businesses. When properly set up and maintained, both entities create an impenetrable barrier between your personal assets and your business activities. Creditors, clients, and other potentially litigious individuals can go after assets owned by your company, but not your personal assets. And additionally, having the right business insurance in place can help shield your business assets from such claims. If you own any kind of business, even just as a side gig to earn extra income, you should consider setting up a protective entity to ensure any liabilities incurred by your company won't affect your personal assets. We want to get help to select, put in place, and maintain the proper entity structure for your particular business operation. And the fourth strategy is to ensure you're putting proper estate planning in place. And although each of the other three scenarios are mere possibilities, there's one certainty in life, and that's death. It's coming for all of us, and given this fact, your eventual death or potential incapacity from a serious accident or illness before you pass away is the biggest risk to your family's assets. If you become incapacitated or die without proper estate planning in place, your assets and family will face a number of potentially tragic outcomes. Without the proper planning, your assets will get stuck in the court system, which could result in those assets passing to family members you would never want inheriting them. Or, if the assets eventually do pass to the loved ones you would want inheriting them, those assets could be seriously depleted or even lost. To this end, planning in advance for the inevitability of death is one of the greatest gifts you can give to those you love most. You work way too hard to leave your family's assets at risk. So if you've been putting off creating your estate plan, or if you haven't updated your existing estate plan recently, now is the time to get that handled, especially as the end of the year is coming up. There's still plenty of time to get this taken care of this year if you need to. As a personal family lawyer firm, we've made estate planning incredibly easy. And we start with a family wealth planning session, which is the first step in our life and legacy planning process. And during this process, we walk you through an analysis of your assets, what's most important to you, and what will happen to your loved ones when you die or become incapacitated. And from there, we work with you to put in place the right combination of estate planning solutions to fit with your unique asset profile, family dynamics, budget, and as well as your overall goals and desires. We just aren't like most estate planning firms. As a personal family lawyer, we see estate planning as far more than simply planning for your own death and passing on your estate and assets to your loved ones. It's about planning for a life you love and a legacy worth leaving by the choices you make today. And this is why we call our services life and legacy planning. And if you feel that this is something that you would like to discuss further with me and you're in Arizona or Colorado, you can call my office and schedule a quick call with me at 480-999-4455. Or if you're not in those states or would like to find another personal family lawyer near you, go to personalfamilylawyer.com. I want to thank you again for tuning in for this episode of Family Wealth and Other Musings, and I appreciate you being here. I have been your host, Becky Easton, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.